Taurus, have you ever noticed that despite meeting hundreds of people throughout your life, you only truly love a few? And that those people who win your heart have very specific characteristics that you can't always explain in words? It's no coincidence. There's a profound reason why you can't love just anyone who crosses your path. Your heart works completely differently from most. While others connect easily and superficially with everyone, you have such a refined filter system that only 5 specific types of people can get through. And here's what will shock you. These 5 types have nothing to do with appearance, social status, profession, or anything external. They have to do with invisible energetic frequencies that your spirit instantly recognizes. It's as if your soul has specific signatures programmed within it, and when you encounter someone who carries one of these signatures, something ignites within you automatically and uncontrollably. You don't choose to love these people. You simply love them, as if there were no other option. What I'm about to reveal will completely change how you understand your past, present, and future relationships. It will explain why you connected so deeply with certain people and why, with others, no matter how hard you tried, you never managed to feel anything but polite indifference. It will show you that there's nothing wrong with you for being so selective, so cautious, so impossible to win over. You're not difficult, you're rare, and rare people only connect with other rare types. Are you ready to discover who these 5 categories of people are who have direct access to your closed heart? The first truth you need to accept is that your heart is not like others. While most people have a door that opens easily, you have a safe with 5 different locks, and each of those locks responds only to a specific key. No matter how hard someone tries, if they don't have one of those 5 keys, they'll never get in. And you've probably been in situations where you met wonderful, kind, interesting people, but you simply didn't feel anything, and you blamed yourself for it. You wondered, why can't I connect with this person who is so good? The answer is simple, because that person doesn't carry any of the 5 energetic signatures that your spirit recognizes as your tribe. And that's not anyone's fault. It's simply vibrational incompatibility. Like trying to tune a radio to a frequency that doesn't exist. It might have sound, it might have static, but it will never have the clear music you're looking for. And when you finally understand what those 5 types of people are and why they manage to touch your heart, you'll stop forcing connections with those who were never meant for you. Have you ever noticed that the people who truly mattered in your life have something in common that you could never quite define? Before revealing the 5 types, I need you to understand why you were designed this way. Taurus carries one of the deepest and most intense energies of the zodiac. You weren't made for shallow, fleeting connections. You were made for deep roots, for bonds that last decades, for loves that transcend time. That's why your internal protection system is so rigorous. Because once you love someone, you love with an intensity that can be overwhelming. You give everything. Your loyalty is absolute. Your commitment is total. Your dedication is limitless. And your spirit knows that you can't give that level of love to just anyone. Because if you did, you would destroy yourself. Can you imagine loving someone with that intensity who doesn't value it, who doesn't reciprocate, who uses your dedication and throws it away? You would shatter. That's why your heart developed this system of 5 keys, not to isolate you, but to protect you, to ensure that you only invest your precious energy in people who truly deserve it and who will honor the treasure of being loved by you. Now let's get to what you really want to know. Who are these 5 categories of people who can unlock your heart? The first type of person Taurus loves is the silent builder. This is the person who doesn't talk much about their plans, doesn't announce their achievements on social media, and doesn't need external validation to continue creating their life. They simply build, day after day, brick by brick, without fanfare, without drama, without needing an audience. And you, as a Taurus, recognize this energy instantly because that's exactly how you function. When you meet a silent builder, something inside you relaxes. It's as if you've finally found someone who speaks your energetic language, someone who understands that greatness doesn't need advertising. That true value is built in the shadows, away from the spotlight. These people carry a solidity that you can feel even without touching, a reliability that doesn't need spoken promises because it's demonstrated through consistent actions. You love silent builders because they make you feel safe. Not the superficial security of someone who says the right words, but the deep security of someone who acts correctly, even when no one is watching. With these people, you can build something real, something that won't crumble at the first crisis, something that will stand the test of time. And for you, who values permanence above all else, that's irresistible. You probably have or had a silent builder in your life. That person who never promised you the world, but who always showed up when you needed them. Who didn't use pretty words, but whose actions spoke volumes. Who didn't try to impress you, but won you over precisely because of that. This person touched your heart because their frequency was perfectly in tune with yours. Can you think of someone like that right now? The second type of person that Taurus deeply loves is the guardian of values. This is the person who has non-negotiable principles, who prefers to miss opportunities rather than compromise their integrity, who lives according to such a strong internal moral code that no matter how much external pressure exists, this person never bends. And you, as a Taurus who also carries deep values, recognize and respect this viscerally. When you find a guardian of values, you don't just admire that person, you're magnetically drawn to them. Because in a world where so many people change their minds according to convenience, where principles are flexible and morality is relative, finding someone with an unwavering backbone is like finding a diamond among ordinary stones. And you, more than any other sign, know how to recognize what is genuinely valuable. What you love about guardians of values isn't that they agree with you on everything. It's that they have strong enough convictions of their own to defend them. Even when you disagree, you respect them, because you know that if this person says something, it's because they truly believe it. They're not trying to please you, they're not trying to fit in, they're not trying to gain your approval. They're being authentic to themselves. And authenticity is one of the things that attracts you most in someone. You've probably loved or still love a guardian of values. That person you knew you could completely trust because their values didn't change depending on the situation, who had the courage to be unpopular when necessary, who didn't follow the crowd but followed their own inner compass. With that person, you knew exactly where you stood. There were no games, no masks, no different versions of them depending on the audience, and that made you feel like you'd finally found someone real in a world of illusions. The third type that wins the Taurus heart is the beauty creator. Note, I'm not talking about physically beautiful people. I'm talking about people who create beauty in the world in some way. It could be through art, it could be through words, it could be through how they organize spaces, it could be through how they prepare a meal, it could be through how they tend a garden. These are people who have a special relationship with aesthetics, with harmony, with creating rich sensory experiences. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, and this means you have a deep appreciation for everything that is beautiful, harmonious, and sensory. When you find someone who also lives on this frequency of creating and appreciating beauty, an immediate resonance occurs. It's as if you both speak a language that most people don't even know exists. A language made of textures, colors, flavors, aromas, sounds, sensations. What you love about beauty creators is that they remind you that life isn't just about surviving or being productive. It's about experiencing. It's about creating moments that nourish the soul. These people teach you, or remind you, that beauty isn't a superfluous luxury, it's a spiritual necessity. They understand that a sunset can be more important than a meeting, that a meal prepared with love can heal more than words. That beauty is a form of language that communicates what words never could. You love these people because with them, life becomes rich. not necessarily rich in material terms, but rich in experiences that touch your senses and your soul. They transform the ordinary into the extraordinary simply by the way they pay attention and create. And you, who have this same capacity within you, feel seen and understood when you find someone who also lives this way. Have you ever had someone in your life who transformed simple moments into memorable experiences simply by the way they lived them? The fourth type that Taurus loves is the fierce protector. This is the person who has a soft and loving side, but when someone they love is threatened, they transform into an unstoppable protective force. These are people who take seriously the commitment to care for those who are part of their inner circle. They don't just say they would be there for you, but they prove it through concrete actions. You love fierce protectors because you are one yourself. You know what it means to love someone with such intensity that you would do anything to keep them safe. And when you find someone you love with that same intensity, with that same ferocity, something inside you recognizes an equal. It's like two warriors who respect each other because each knows the other's strength. What attracts you to fierce protectors isn't that they're aggressive or violent, it's that they have unwavering loyalty. They're people who don't abandon their loved ones when things get tough, who don't look for easy ways out when the path gets complicated, who stay and fight alongside those they love. And for you, who are also like that, finding someone who shares that level of commitment is finding a rare treasure. You probably have or had a fierce protector in your life, that person who showed in critical moments that they were truly on your side, who defended you when you couldn't defend yourself, who fought for you when you were too weak to fight for yourself, who put their own needs aside to ensure your well-being. This person earned a permanent place in your heart because actions like that are unforgettable. Loyalty like that is not easily found. And finally, the fifth type of person Taurus loves is the conscious present. This is probably the rarest of all. It's that person who is truly present when they're with you, who isn't constantly checking their phone, isn't thinking about 1,000 other things, isn't physically there but mentally somewhere else. When they're with you, they are completely and totally present with you. They give you genuine, undivided, unfragmented attention. In a world where attention has become the scarcest resource, where everyone is always rushing, always distracted, always multitasking, finding someone who truly knows how to be present is like finding water in the desert. And you, as a Taurus who lives intensely in the here and now, who is deeply sensory and connected to the present moment, recognize and value this more than anything else. What you love about mindful, present people is that they make you feel like you matter, that you are a priority, that you are worth their undivided attention. And when someone gives you that rare gift of complete presence, something inside you opens up because you feel like you are truly seen, truly heard, truly felt, not as an obligation or a distraction between more important commitments, but as someone who deserves quality time. These people create moments with you that are etched in your memory, not because something extraordinary happened, but because the quality of their presence transformed something simple into something sacred. A conversation about nothing becomes one of the best conversations of your life. A casual lunch becomes a moment of deep connection. A shared silence becomes an experience of true intimacy. And you love it because you are also like that when you are with someone who matters to you. Now that you know the 5 types, you're probably mentally reviewing the important people in your life and realizing that each of them fits into at least one of these categories. The most special people in your life likely combine several of these characteristics, and the people you've never been able to connect with deeply, even when you try, probably don't carry any of these 5 energetic signatures. And here's something important you need to understand. There is no 6th category. Your heart has exactly 5 keys, not 6, not 7, and that's not limitation, it's perfect design. Because these 5 categories cover all the forms of connection that truly matter to you. Anyone who doesn't fit into any of them may be good, may be interesting, may even be important in other ways, but they will never have access to your heart in the same way, and that explains so many things in your life. It explains why you can't force yourself to feel something for someone who doesn't carry any of those frequencies. It explains why you're sometimes criticized for being closed off, difficult, slow to trust. It explains why when you finally love someone, that love is so deep and unwavering because you don't love superficially. You love with every cell of your being, and that kind of love can't be given to just anyone. Taurus, one of the most liberating revelations you can have is understanding that there's nothing wrong with being selective. In fact, your selectivity is one of your greatest gifts, because while others waste time and energy on connections that lead nowhere, you invest deeply in the few connections that truly matter, and these connections become so deeply rooted in your life that nothing can uproot them. When you stop trying to force yourself to like people who don't resonate with you, when you stop blaming yourself for not feeling what you should feel, when you honor your internal recognition system instead of fighting against it, your life transforms. You stop wasting emotional energy trying to make connections work that were never meant to work, and you free up space to deepen connections with those who truly belong in your life. And here's something that might surprise you. When you understand your own 5-key system, you also better understand the people you love. You realize what category they represent in your life and why you've connected so deeply with them. This allows you to value those connections even more. It allows you to better communicate what you appreciate about them. It allows you to nurture those relationships in more conscious and intentional ways. For example, if you have a silent builder in your life, you can begin to recognize and value their consistent actions more instead of waiting for romantic words that may never come. If you have a values keeper, you can appreciate their integrity even when you disagree on something specific. If you have a beauty creator, you can participate more actively in creating beautiful experiences together. If you have a fierce protector, you can demonstrate the same loyalty you receive. And if you have a conscious gift, you can reciprocate by giving your own complete presence. Another profound insight that comes from this understanding is realizing which of these 5 frequencies you yourself emanate into the world. Because you not only recognize these characteristics in others, you likely carry some or all of these qualities within yourself. You might be a silent builder in your professional life, a guardian of values in your daily choices, a creator of beauty in how you arrange your home or prepare a meal, a fierce protector with those you love, and a conscious gift when you are with the right people. And when you recognize these qualities in yourself, you can develop them even further intentionally. You can become even more what you value in others, because what you love in other people is always a reflection of what you value within yourself, even if it's not always fully developed yet. The people you love are mirrors that reflect aspects of your own potential. Taurus, something important I need to tell you. As you evolve, as you become more yourself, your system for recognizing these 5 frequencies becomes even more refined. You begin to identify these characteristics in people more quickly. You stop wasting time with those who clearly don't carry any of these signatures. And you invest your precious energy from the beginning in those who show signs of carrying one or more of these frequencies. This doesn't make you cold or calculating. It makes you wise. It makes you someone who respects their own heart enough to protect it from connections that will drain their energy without offering anything real in return. It makes you someone